This is one of the most underrated cars out there. It's a sporty 2-door manual car that looks as good as this and has a V6 engine that sounds this good. You can still get these cars for a very good price, so let's get into the video and find out more about this insane car. So guys, the car that we're featuring today is incredibly special and really underrated. So many people have forgotten about this car, sleep on this car, and the car that we're featuring is the Hyundai Tiburon. This is owned by ThatCarLife support over here, aka 01KDM. I'll put the Instagram right here if you guys want to follow. And you OGs to the channel know that this car has been on the channel a couple times, but not in its current state. So we did do a video on this car when she first bought it a few years ago, when it was
stock.
Completely stock, like bone stock. And as you can see, at the moment, this thing has quite a few different mods to it. It does look quite different from the last time that you guys have seen it.
I guess we'll start with the badge. You might notice that it says Tuscany instead of Tiburon. Reason being, I actually just couldn't find a badge that said Tiburon, but I'm not upset about Tuscany because now it kind of looks like an import, because in Korea they're all called Tuscanys instead of Tiburons.
Oh, I was going to ask, what is it? What even is Tuscany? So it's like the Korean version of the Tiburon.
Basically.
It's Tuscany. Okay,
so in Korea, I don't know much about America, but I know for sure in Korea they're called Tuscanys, and another name for it is called an Eliza. I don't know if you noticed, but I guess you can tell based off the grills, I don't know, the shape, it's actually supposed to look like a shark. I think that's what Hyundai's based it off.
Yeah, so these are meant to be like gills, is that right?
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be like a Tiburon shark.
I can't get much parts in Australia for this car, so I've had to eBay a lot of stuff. So
what kind of lip is this? What is it?
This is a universal 3-piece, because the thing about owning this car and being in Australia, you have to know, like, there's no parts unless you're willing to import it from overseas, but then you got to pay, like, the part might be $100, but then you got to pay like $500 just to get it here. It's also a daily. I'm like, this does it for me. It looks nice, it's cheap. If it breaks, it breaks. I can buy a new one.
It actually looks pretty nice the way it comes out. It has this little design in it. Like, it's obviously not the most expensive thing in the world, but it does the job. And this isn't the only lip on the car, right? This kind of goes around.
I put these on before this lip because they came with like my old lip. These are just normal side skirts. Me and my dad actually had to cut them because they were too long, which is why they're a bit uneven.
And I guess that's because they're universal, right? You have to,
exactly.
There's a bit of cutting and stuff.
Yeah, so they came long.
So universal side skirt extensions here, and it's cool. That's got this little like lip piece here, which matches the front as well.
It does. It matches the front, but I personally don't really like that. Like I said, there's not much parts in Australia, so I've got to deal with it.
You're making the best with what you can get.
Exactly.
And I can see it also comes around to the back here.
Yeah,
and
so
you also have a little rear.
The rear little extensions.
Yeah, the rear extensions.
You know what?
Too.
These ones actually like they've held up pretty good for cheapos.
The actual design of the Tiburon, it's definitely a car that's designed in a really unique way by Hyundai. And the actual roof design looks insane. Like, why is that?
Well, actually, the roof design is actually the exact same roof as a Ferrari. I don't know which one.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up and I'll put the model of the Ferrari here.
It's the exact same roof as one of the Ferraris.
I think there's plenty of people that actually make Ferrari replicas out of this car, is that right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, there's a certain Ferrari from the mid-2000s, the roof part, pretty much identical. And when you're looking at it from this angle, there's no way you would think that this is a Hyundai.
I've also debadged all of the Hyundai badges, so I think I've made it look like anything but a Hyundai.
Because no one really knows what it is. So many people are like, what is this car? What's the T?
The only Hyundai thing is the windshield, but I'm not going to change the windshield.
Yeah, because you've got Tuscany on this steering wheel.
So fun fact, right underneath the Tuscany is the Hyundai badge.
But you just
I didn't take it off, I just stuck it over.
And I think you've got Tuscany in here, don't you?
So yeah, so I put the Tuscany.
That's a mad feature. That's a factory rear spoiler as well.
So when I first got the car, the first thing I said was, I'm going to change the spoiler. I've looked into ducktails, I've looked into like high spoilers. There is one that I like, I just haven't been able to find it in Australia. But then I also found out that 08 Evo wing also fits.
Like a Mitsubishi Evo spoiler fits this car.
It fits this car.
That's
but
hectic.
The thing is, I think the wing's too high for my liking, so I haven't done it. I just kept this. I think if I did take this off though, it does have a little like bit of a duck tail, like a little bit of a curb here.
Oh yeah, in the boot.
So if I really wanted to, I could take this off and just have it as like no spoiler.
Let us know in the comments what you guys reckon. Should that colour support get rid of this spoiler or should she keep it? These are factory reflectors here as well.
For all you OGs would know, the first mod me and Jordan did on this car was black out my reflectors. For the last 3 years, they've cracked a bit, but hey, for 3 years, I think they've held up pretty good.
Not too bad for a couple of cans of nightshade. I guess it kind of goes because that's black, the extensions are black, and your number plates are black as well.
I've tried to keep the black and red theme going.
I just noticed having a look around as well. Look at this fuel cap design. Like that is something that you don't see on a normal car. Like that looks like such a
It actually
proper
reminds
sports
me
car
of
look.
the Nissan 350Z. I'm pretty sure that's like similar.
I think so, eh? Like that's nuts that this is on a Hyundai, a fuel cap like that. What wheels do you have on this too? This is something that the people on the channel have not seen.
So these are the Avid 06s.
Can we also let the people know what car these wheels were on before?
Okay, so these came off a Toyota Hilux.
Can you believe that? These Avid 06s were literally on a lifted Toyota Hilux. Like that is nuts.
I saw them for a really good deal, so I just took it.
Are they chrome? Because it's like a really shiny, like, is it like a chromey look?
I'm pretty sure they're silver because they're not that reflective.
So going into the interior now, guys, it's got pillarless doors, this sporty red stitching from the factory, and the car legit has these insane bucket seats from the factory, like proper sporty seats, which is nuts. Leather and red stitching as well. This is such a nice interior for a Hyundai. You just wouldn't expect it.
So I actually really enjoy when Jordan drives my car because that means I get to use this.
Oh yeah, this is the best cup holder. It literally just pops out, pops in. That's pretty hectic.
I actually get jealous when I can't use it.
Yeah, yeah. When I'm passenger princess, sometimes I literally just love having my drink there. Even just when there's no drink, just doing this. It's really fun. Got like a nice like stainless steel piece here, which is factory.
We've got 3 gauges here. This one is torque, this one's fuel consumption, and then this one's my battery. So
And that's factory.
that's factory.
You've got like R34 Skylines, like GTTs and stuff. They come factory with this as well. And this is a Hyundai that comes factory with that.
Guys, I always say this. I have an RB.
We're gonna start this car and show you guys how it sounds. It literally does sound like an RB, which is nuts. I noticed the sunroof in this car is literally huge. Look at that. That's massive.
Yeah, it's pretty big. I really like my sunroof. I'm
And
really
that
happy
obviously
that it came
pops
with
up
it.
like this, but it also goes all the way back too.
Yeah, it does. It's also got this feature, so this is for sunnies.
That is so cool. I wish the Triple S had that.
I keep my sunnies in my bag, but it's a good feature.
This car, it's a 2006. They're still pretty fairly priced.
You can get a good one still for like 10 to 12. You can still get like a fairly average
That
one
might
for
need a
like,
bit of work, 5, 6 around there,
Yeah.
something like that. It's insane that you can get these for the prices that they are.
One thing when I am driving the car, I do feel like I'm driving a sports car. I notice like when I close the door, I sit fairly low.
That's a very good point. Look how low that you sit in this car.
If you're in the car next to me at the lights, you're just seeing my head.
Yeah,
you're
like,
not seeing anything.
It kind of feels like a little chop top.
You
Like
sit very in.
the doors all the way up here. Like most other cars, the doors around this level. But yeah, it feels like you're in a nice sleek coupe. Let's see what's under the bonnet.
There's nothing special.
Nah, there is something special.
There's
You don't give it
nothing.
enough credit. All right, so what do you got under here, that colour support?
A Gallo 24.
Gallo 24.
Yeah.
Oof. This car literally has a 2.7 litre V6. It's a very, very torquey motor, this thing. I can see you've got a pod filter. Is that the only engine bay modification you've got?
Yeah, the previous owner did that, so we'll thank him.
Well, it definitely does help give the car a nice intake, grunty sound, so that's always a plus. This V6 motor in the Hyundai is so torquey, and NA, we've proven on Tuners Evolution YouTube channel, I'll link it up here, that NA V6 from a Tiburon is literally faster and more torquier than an NA RB out of Mem's R33. That's an RB25, I'm pretty sure as well.
Yeah, RB25.
So obviously the Skylines are normally turbo and definitely quicker, but an NA RB, we've proven on Mem's channel, if you want to see the full video drag racing, it's up here. But yeah, the Tiburon chopped it twice.
Yeah.
An NA RB. That should tell you guys just how torquey, quick and underrated these V6 motors are, and they sound hectic at the same time doing it. So let's start her up. We have a video on the channel, I'll link it up here, where we did the exhaust on this car.
We've got a high flow cat, 2 cannons, and a resonator delete.
This is one of the best sounding cars I've ever heard in my life. I'll always say that. Just wait till you hear it. It cracks, burbles, pops, all that good stuff. It has like a proper, beautiful V6 tone and note. That is literally insane. The fact that that sound is coming out of a Hyundai. How good is that? How underrated is that? Like, obviously these cars, like, they were Need for Speed. I think the first Need for Speed, and I guess that's where a lot of people knew about them. But I swear, over the years, you don't see these around. You never see them on the road. They're just incredibly rare. Should we go for a drive?
I think we should go for a drive.
I think we should go for a drive.
Let's go for a drive.
You heard how good that sounds. Forgot to tell you guys, this thing's got coilovers as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. I fully forgot.
What coilovers does it have?
Oh, it's got max speeding rods.
Max speeding rods, coilovers, and yeah, we've got a video installing it on the channel too. But yeah, we'll, I guess, show you guys how that feels, how the suspension feels in the car as well. From that experience just then, like, it's very, very torquey. Like, you weren't even giving it full throttle away.
No.
And it like throws you back in your seat. Sounds insane while you're doing it. Very responsive. And sounds so good as well. Do you guys see what I mean? How it sounds like an RB? What do you reckon of the suspension? How does it feel when you're driving?
I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about them. Like, a lot of people said that they're bad. I personally had a fine experience. There's times where I might take a bump a bit too fast and it's uncomfortable. But other than that, like, it's all right. I've gotten used to it. It doesn't bother me. They do the job.
So now we're gonna hear how this thing sounds on the outside. Alright, so we've gone for that little drive. We've shown you guys how this car sounds, how it feels on the road. I'm just blown away by this car. See, this is definitely one of my favorite cars, and I really hope I could show you guys why from this video. Like, it's just so much fun, and hopefully this video might convince some of you guys to get a Tiburon for yourself. And I think if you do, you're not gonna go wrong. So underrated, so fun, what a car.
Guys, for more content on the Tibi, follow 01KDM on Instagram.
I'll put it right here. So I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more. And we'll see you guys next time on
ThatCarLife.
ThatCarLife.